What's up, guys? Welcome in to the Dog Central YouTube channel. It's been a little while since we have all been together here on YouTube. If you're a Dog Central subscriber, then you've been around over there, and you know what's up, and you know what's been going on. But yeah, been traveling a lot. My wife and I are both fully remote, and we worked our way out to the southeast for kind of the stretch run of the regular season, and then we came back cross country in our RV. So yeah, it's been a little difficult to record these style film review shows. Did want to get this out for you. I promised a few of our subscribers on the Dog Central website that I would get a film review up for Tennessee week, and yeah, it's a late Tuesday night, so hopefully you guys will all get this on Wednesday, and maybe have some time to enjoy it over the holiday. If you're watching this before Thanksgiving, I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. If you're watching it on or after, I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Really hard to believe that we're here. It just feels like football season starts, and then you blink, and it's the bye week, and then Georgia heads to Jacksonville for Halloween, and then you take half a blink, and it's Christmas time. So exciting time of the year because a lot of answers are coming. A lot of things are getting solved. The playoff picture is still very, very muddied, but it'll it'll have to be clear after next weekend. So lots of excitement in that, but also kind of sad that football season has gone by as fast as it has. If you've followed this channel for a long time, you know that I'm not a huge fan of playoff expansion, but I think I will be a fan of getting to this point in the season and knowing that we still have more games to play. 15 is a lot on 18 to 22-year-old kids, but they do just go by very fast. So that's why it is fun to go ahead and review these like we do. So let's get into Georgia, Tennessee. Very interesting performance in that in many ways, Georgia did not play what I would call their A game or even their B game in certain units. Carson Beck was really good. A couple of the receivers were very good. But yeah, like offensive line, not great. And still you have this dominant road win in the SEC. And I think that in and of itself may be the most representative thing that I've seen all year of just how good this Georgia team is. And that, in a line of scrimmage league, and the SEC is still a line of scrimmage league. Don't be mistaken by all of the passing attacks. In a line of scrimmage league, Georgia is still, able to go on the road, and even when they're not having maybe their most consistent day on the offensive line. Not a very consistent day on the defensive line. Well, it was after this, but this is the first play of the game, and I think Georgia's up to 8 of 11 games this year, or maybe 9 of 11 games now that they've given up a touchdown on the first drive. This is by far the most dramatic in the sense that they gave up a 75-yarder. And what happens here? So Stackhouse is lined up as a true nose. You do have a 4-man front, but you kind of have that overhanging kind of mint style front that Georgia likes to play with the jack linebacker, and that's Chambliss in this scenario. 32 over on the left side of your screen, and ball is going to come straight up the middle. Logue swims inside, gets double teamed, and Stackhouse moves right as well. Mike Hill he kind of freezes there to force the handoff and to not bite too hard to where Milton's going to keep it, which is what he's supposed to do. But he sort of hesitates after the ball comes out. Like from other angles, I thought maybe he could have made a tackle, but yeah, Stackhouse just kind of, you see his head right here, so his eyes are kind of blocked onto what's going on, and he just sees it a little too late. And then CJ Allen, look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. There is just a shit ton of holding penalties in this game that don't get called. Here, he's being like he's got a hand around his back. You can see there his last name gets erased from view. Um, and then bad angle by Tyke. Smile Mondin. He just bites down too soon here into this B gap, and Tyke overruns it. Now, in fairness to Tyke, he is following the motion man there, moving left to right on your screen. But yeah, he just gets past that midpoint, and then bad angle by Bullard, and that's something we rarely say. And then boom, it's off to the house. In a way, almost, I don't know, kind of good to just get it over with, like Kirby joked in his post-game press conference. But there's going to come a time where Georgia, is facing better competition, where getting down 7-0 like that, it's never insurmountable. There's so much game left, but every possession does matter. And against better teams, if you look up and lose by 7 and you played really good defense except for that first possession, you're going to wish that you had figured this out sooner or figured it out at all. Georgia's first drive here, really, Georgia didn't have a great day up front, like on the offensive line, run blocking. And this was one of their better run block plays, honestly, is this first play. You're going to have kind of this pin and pull concept where Delp is going to come around the outside, and Green is supposed to sort of seal that guy down. He ends up sealing him out, which works fine. Truthfully, without knowing exactly what the call is, I probably shouldn't say Green didn't do his job. But yeah, nice little, first down runs, if you can get 4 yards on them, it makes life a lot easier. And Georgia really didn't do that very often in this game. 2nd and 6, first throw for Beck. And what's scary about Carson in this game is that he was a little sped up the first couple of drives, and really, like, this is a completion on a crossing route, but that ball's a little behind Rara, and like that's he's a little bit off. And what's the scary part of it for other teams is that off for Carson Beck looks like you completed a pass for a first down on 2nd and 6, where Thomas has to catch the ball in a spot where he's going to get tackled basically right at the catch instead of having a chance to run after the catch. But it's not like, oh, hey, he's spraying inaccurate throws everywhere and he can't complete a pass to save his life. Like, there's none of that going on. Later in the drive, you get a run play here. This one is close to breaking. I want you to watch, love it. And this is a tough block for a receiver, especially a slot receiver who's a little bit more slight in stature. But really, he loses this block at the snap, right? Like at the snap, his helmet basically has to get inside of that Tennessee guy's helmet, and he has to seal that out. And he's not able to do that. And the Tennessee player is able to just kind of walk himself down the hole. There's an argument to be made that Dejan maybe, could have bounced this outside, but I don't, that's in a perfect world. That's a very tough cut to make. It's hard to have that quick of a cut, that dramatic of a cut. 3rd and 7, and Beck's going to be money again. See, again, like a little behind Brock, which is funny because he's going to get into beast mode. This is the 2nd and 18 throw. In truth, this is a little bit behind Bowers as well. I'm just going to let this play because I've got a few angles of it for you guys. This throw is sick, okay? Like, this throw into that window, to be in a place where you feel comfortable making that throw, like, is rather ridiculous. And that's just how comfortable Carson Beck is right now. But this is a heater, dude. Like, that is there so fast. And Brock, I think he's in so much coverage that the ball arriving probably surprises him a little bit, to be truthful. And then 3rd and 18, he's going to hit Brock on an out route there. Again, not quite out in front of him, a little behind him. Not dramatically so, but I thought this was, 3rd and 18 for 10 yards. Who cares? You set up a field goal on a series where you had a fumbled snap that puts you in 2nd and 18. Like, getting out of that series with points, especially after Tennessee started with that 75-yard touchdown, I thought that was important. And good job by Bobo and Beck, kind of taking what they could get there and getting out. 1st and 10 for Tennessee. They're going to string this out. This is nice by Tyke Smith. Played a whale of a game. So, yeah, you're going to see motion, and then good job by watch Zion Logue here. So, Logue is in as a defensive end, and does he make the tackle? No, but like, he strings that out so that Tyke can. That's good hustle from a big guy guarding against a cutback lane. 3rd and 3. Look, these 3rd and 3s were kind of much the story of the game, in that Georgia, they stopped Tennessee on 3 straight 3rd and 3s after the Vols scored on that first drive. Or it really wasn't a drive; it was just a play, right? But beautiful job by Tyke Smith in the open field. And like, as a play caller, as Josh Heupel, who is the play caller in this situation, like, being in a spot where you get basically the look that you want, and like, this is not a bad throw by Milton, right? You get this little rub route kind of action, this shallow sort of flat route, and like, it's your guy in space, one-on-one, and look, like, that's what modern offenses are designed to, like, get skill players the ball in space one-on-one. And so that has been achieved right here. Okay. Like, that's happened. And Tyke Smith, he's there, but like, the way he breaks down right here, and just like, you can almost see him. You can't literally, but like, he's watching the hips, like, the head lies, the feet lie, the hips never lie. And he just breaks down and makes that tackle perfectly. And like, there's just no panic in that big moment in the open field on 3rd down. He's just really, really good, man. Like, he was unfair in this game in a lot of ways, in terms of how Tennessee kind of tried to, pick on him in a way, because Squirrel White is sort of their most dynamic receiver at this point that's healthy. And like, it was Bullard and Tyke on Squirrel White, and he had some short catches and all of that, but for the most part, like, they shut him down, and they really shut him down on these kind of 3rd down, money down type situations, right? Like, Georgia was very, very good in 3rd down on both sides of the football, and that's really, like, Georgia won the success rate battle. They won the yards per play kind of battle. But if you look at UGA in this game, 3rd down, Georgia 10.2 yards per play on offense and 1.9 yards per play allowed on defense. Like, that's tough. You're probably wondering, why is this punt in here? Well, look, I think Muse has improved in terms of coming up and catching balls like this. He does not hesitate. He comes up, grabs that short punt on the 35. It doesn't give it a chance to bounce and hit one of his guys for a fumble. But B, like, that saves maybe 10, 15, 20 yards there. Like, that hidden yardage starting on the 35 with this Georgia offense that's really good field position. It is. So now we see them starting on 35. Interesting formation here. You got Brock, you got McConkey in, and you got Delp in sort of this tight bunch set. And you got Rah down here on the bottom by himself. You motion Lad. And so this pitch, right? Like, I actually, like, I think I muttered to myself on this drive, like, why does Bobo keep running this little, like, pitch sweep kind of concept out of the shotgun. And we're going to find out at the end of the drive why Bobo was running that pitch sweep concept. Okay, again, sweep to the outside. It gets blown up, but guess what? You're showing Tennessee's linebackers and safeties and corners like this is part of our game plan today. Here, like, we're going to run this play a lot at you. You're going to see this toss, and you're going to have to come down, and you're going to have to out leverage us. You're gonna have to beat us to the edge, or we're gonna bust this sweep on you over and over. Okay, and that's key because Georgia ends up hitting a halfback pass off of it here at the end of the drive. 3rd and 6 here. Again, what were we just talking about? Georgia over 10 yards of play on 3rd down. Not a 10-yard play here, but like, look, Carson Beck, is he going to come out and run for 80, 90, 100 yards a game? No, absolutely not. That's not his game. But he will run enough to keep a defense honest on kind of like inside zone read type stuff. B, this is a huge play from like an EPA success rate advanced stat standpoint, because like moving kind of out into midfield, when you cross the opponent's 40 is when a scoring opportunity starts. No, this play does not get there, but like keeping a drive alive right here where Tennessee has covered things well, they've gotten decent pressure, and you slip out of there by a shoestring and get a first down, like that's a swing play in a game. And Beck does that a couple times a week with his feet lately. Here, said it kind of in the open. Georgia's offensive line struggled in run block. We've got Truss in at left tackle, and right here, he's got kind of decent. He's inside of this guy, but you see him. He's leaning backwards, and so he's not able to kind of explode off his back feet. Van Pran, his guy's kind of shooting through. He does enough to seal him out, but yeah, this lineman for Tennessee is just sort of walking Truss down the line, and yeah, it basically just comes straight into the hole and messes that play up for Georgia. So, I thought the tackle rotation with Truss, Mims, Green, they're all 3 really good players, and they all deserve to play. And Dylan Fairchild and Micah Morris and Tate Ratledge, they're 3 really good guards. And then you got Van Pran in the center, obviously. But I understand why Georgia wants to rotate 7 guys on the offensive line, because they all deserve to play. But I did think at times in this game that it kind of hurt the flow of things for UGA a little bit up front. 2nd and 9 here. You fake and you dart. I mean, this is just Rosemy, like, really nice game for him. This was a big day for him, and really stepped up with Ra Thomas hurt. Ra only was able to play, I think, 18 snaps, but I want you to watch Chef Bobo here. So you get the motion with Lovett over to the right side of the formation, and that pulls that safety down towards the line of scrimmage, right? And then you're going to see Rosemy, because this linebacker is blitzing. Let's go back actually to the very start of the play. All right, yeah. So you see you see Dominic Lovett coming across. You get the completion, and then you're going to see here that safety came down because the guy that's over Lovett is going to blitz. And because of that, like, Beck gets to burn this blitz because Lovett, he's going to just run an out route and basically, take that safety not fully out of the play, but he's going to freeze that safety enough to where, he's basically one guy covering that little sort of space between Dom Lovett and Marcus Rosemy-Jacksaint, and Rosemy just is going to come right in behind it. Like, it's really good play design, and it's why pre-snap motion is very, very important to have in an offense. And Bobo has been very, very good with how he's used that this year. And credit Carson Beck for being smart enough to understand, basically what that motion is telling him. What he learned from seeing Lovett move across the formation. Uh, that allows him to know, like, hey, my guy's probably gonna get into some open space if I can hang in here long enough, look some guys off, and wait for this blitz to kind of come a little bit. Like, if I let this route develop, Marcus is going to be open soon, and that's what happened. Okay, this is just sick, dude. Look at this. This is a heater. That is a dart. Like, that is off of his hand so quick. This is a 3rd and short play. And I mean, like, this, there's not really any defense for that. I mean, Tennessee is like, they know that this is Brock Bowers' territory, 3rd down, especially 3rd and short. Like, they have this. I mean, like, look at Beck, look off. I'm not sure if that's a linebacker or a corner who's covering Brock here, to be honest, or a safety. But Beck at the snap, okay, all the way left. And that kid that's lined up across from Brock, the Tennessee guy, he's going to bite on that look left. And then look, Carson's head had just turned back right there. Brock's numbers are still to him. This throwing motion has already started. I mean, that ball is there as soon as he hits that break. His perfect execution. And I mean, Carson has just he's been good at it all year, honestly, in terms of not staring down receivers. But he's gotten to the point where his mastery of the offense is so high that, like, he's really influencing defenders now and moving them around the field. It's first round pick type stuff when you couple that with the arm talent that we're seeing. Okay, the sweep that we were talking about a little while ago. Oh, there's that sweep again, and you bid on it because you saw it twice already, and you thought, oh, here comes number 3. Good job by Dylan Bell. Um, you know, doesn't try to overthrow it, doesn't try to rocket it. Like, clearly that was something that Georgia saw on tape with the Tennessee defense, and probably the safeties in particular, that made them feel good about using it there. Tennessee had some injuries at safety, so picking on the young safeties like that is honestly a little bit unfair. This play is sweet. I mean, it's just a really nice job by Michael at right defensive end. He's going to get held, and he's going to roll through and wreck shop anyways. Does not care. Good job by him. This is the reverse angle of it. Shoots that gap, getting held. But his other guys are coming down and filling behind him. Not a single holding penalty was called in this game on Georgia, to my knowledge or my memory. The refs pretty much ate their flags. And look, if you're Georgia, like, you're probably fine with that because you're more talented than everybody you're going to play. But, like, there is a very large, at least to me, like, difference that you see in how games play out from a pressure standpoint for the Georgia defensive line if the refs establish what holding is early in the game. Like, you saw that against Kentucky, you saw it against Ole Miss. Georgia, like, if they can get a holding flag early to sort of make things fair to where guys aren't able to do illegal stuff to them, like, they get to the quarterback a lot more, not surprisingly. 3rd and 3 again, right? 1.9 yards per play on 3rd down for Tennessee. And this is another Michael play. Just, I mean, he's lined up kind of as, like, a 4-eye sort of defensive end. Maybe, I mean, he's definitely a 4 tech, but, like, he's shaded inside. In between that offensive guard and that tackle, and he and Jalen Walker, or no, that might be Mondon coming off that side there. Yeah, it's Mondon, but just tip pass. I mean, that's a game-changing play. You get the ball back. Georgia goes 3 and out. Tennessee gets the ball back, 1st and 10, and they take their shot. And Milton six pass attempts over 20 yards in this game. 5 of those were incomplete. And I mean, in many ways, that was the story because you're not going to drive the ball in small chunks on this Georgia defense. Kamari Lassiter, for my money, the best cover corner in the SEC. You saw it there. Do I need to say more? Okay, so like the holding thing I was talking about a second ago. Let's look at Smile Mondon on this play. He's lined up over the slot on the bottom, the inside slot, and he's just gonna get. I mean, like, does he do a good job? No, not like. I mean, like, he doesn't do a bad job, but like, okay, like, yes, you want to see him bust through this block no matter what, hell or high water, all of that. But like, he's just getting held onto the entire time here. Number 2. I'll run that back one more time. You can watch it again. Like, it's a joke. Ultimately, it didn't matter. Tennessee scored 3 more points after the first play, but and then this is 3rd and 3. This is not, I mean, it's not bad defense. Like, Starks is definitely in position there to try and make a play on the receiver's hands, but like, this is just one of those plays where it goes your way. The guy dropped the pass and you get off the field, and now you're going to go down and get up 17-7. This is sweet from Bobo. I love this play design. You get Beck look like he's rolling the pocket here, basically, and you see, I mean, like, watch Tennessee's linebackers when Carson looks right and starts like basically like this is a QB sprint out kind of concept. Like, all these guys are going to follow him to that bottom hash, and then boop, just turns, and it's a nice off platform sidearm throw. Look at Ernest Green, number 71, out there. I'm going to play this in real time. Watch the left tackle for Georgia, Ernest Green. Look at him bust his butt to get out there on the edge and make this block. Is it like a pancake highlight? No. But like, does it break that play open and turn it into, a nice like 15 plus yard gain? Yeah, it does. 2nd and 4. This is great for Milton. Milton, I think he had 3.83 yards after contact per an attempt in this game, and he only averaged 4.7 yards a carry. So, like, that means he was basically getting hit within a yard of the line of scrimmage. Again, not a great day from the Georgia offensive line and run blocking. And to be fair to those guys and to Tennessee, like, Tennessee's game plan in many ways was like, we're gonna stack the box, and we're really gonna crash on the inside lanes. And if we're gonna get beat, we're not gonna get beat because we just get gashed up the middle over and over. And that's not at all a bad plan when you're playing Georgia. But yeah, I mean, like, Milton, he's hit at the line of scrimmage here, breaks multiple tackles, and that's what, 12 yards or so. Like, that's a huge plus value play from your running back. Credit to Brock Bowers pulling in the hole right there and smacking a guy. Look, I mean, like, that's why he's such a huge like culture guy. That's why the NFL loves him. That's why Georgia loves him. Is like, yeah, he's probably the best receiver on your team, and he's also willing to pull into the hole and block somebody. All right, 3rd and 6. Just smart football by Beck. Nothing sexy, nothing fancy, but like, just taking first downs and living to fight another play. All right, put a pin in this, okay? Put a pin in this for me. Before we even get to the throw to Bowers, which is going to come. Bowers is lined up in, kind of off the line as like a H-back sniffer style player, and he's going to go out on a wheel route, but he's going to do that off of this like fake end around action. And look who that is. That's number 11, Arian Smith. Okay. Put a pin in that for the 3rd quarter. This is Bobo once again showing you something and then building on that thing. Great throw from Carson. Brock doing Brock things. No shock there. This has to be a high confidence throw. Like, gotta have the right trajectory. If that ball's too flat, it's picked. If it's there's too much air under it, it can also be picked by the safety coming over there, like Carson Beck once again, balling, dealing, all those things. And then love this play from Beck because look, like no panic, 2nd and 8. He's gonna go through a couple reads, and this is sort of a mesh kind of concept. It's not sort of a mesh concept. It is a mesh concept. Want you to watch. Love it. He's going to come in motion, and that's going to pull one guy out of this play. And then Bowers is very savvy in terms of how he runs his route. Just like gets in the way, but not too much in the way. And then Beck, he's going to step up into the pocket because he's got some rush kind of coming off that edge. Not much. It's a good job in pass pro by Mims. But like he's going to step up into the defensive tackle that's coming to get that ball to Bell. It's just again high level stuff. Like they are a machine right now. Carson Beck is a machine right now. Really good defense here. Love this from Jalen Walker. One thing I noted from this game is that Walker like played the run really, really well as an outside linebacker, and you didn't. Chambliss had a fine game, like not a ton of like crazy, plays in run defense, but he was not responsible for any big plays being given up on run defense that I saw. But like if Jalen Walker, who has become, maybe your best pass rusher, can also do this in the run, like patience, doesn't bite down, doesn't allow himself to get engaged by two different guys trying to block him, and then runs it out and strings it out. And then there's your boy CJ Allen, 33. Like this was a play that Georgia struggled to defend against Auburn. Allen is not even lined up really over the middle of the formation. Like he's basically, offset a little bit. So he's got to travel farther. And just like the way he's going to navigate through, this offensive lineman that gets to the second level here for Tennessee, that guy is blocking Georgia linebackers in the Auburn game. And in this game, Allen savvily sidesteps him, boom, puts him on the turf. Really nice job. Well done. And I mean, that's Georgia figuring out quarterback run, probably a big deal with Alabama coming in the SEC championship game. If you can stop Milroe from having explosive runs, I think you can come pretty close to shutting that offense down. All right, 2nd and 8. This is just Ingram Dawkins blowing stuff up. He's your defensive end on the bottom of the screen, shoots this gap, and almost gets a face mask, but doesn't. And then his buddies are there to clean it up. But like, you don't see Georgia play to shoot gaps that much, so it was kind of fun to see them do that more in this game. Whoops. Sorry. Okay, we are back. This is a screenplay. You're going to see Tyke come all the way through that block. Kind of a tough angle. I know the shot's not very good, but he's over on the left side, and he just truck sticks the blocker and then makes that tackle on the swing. Again, really good game from him. 3rd and 7, and Milton. Look, this is tough, okay? Like, this is one of those plays where when we talk about talent beats scheme, Heupel has this schemed up pretty much how you want it. Like, they got the wide splits at wide receiver, okay? So Georgia's back 7 is stretched out, and CJ Allen is alone at linebacker in the middle of the field. Safeties are backpedaling to help with those wide receivers that are running out, and you get the halfback kind of, slowly slipping out of the backfield, and then it's him and Allen one-on-one right here, running back versus linebacker, running back versus true freshman linebacker. Like, as an offensive play caller, this is what I want, okay? My guy on this guy in space, he's going to break him down, he's going to jet right, and we're going to hit him on a pass, and he's going to slip out, and then he's going to have plenty of room in the open field because the secondary's been run off. Well, CJ Allen had other ideas. He's just going to, it's not a bad throw from Milton by any means. It's delivered well. CJ Allen he's just a better player than you are. So he's going to close this, and boom. Sorry, man. Like, as a offensive coordinator, as a play caller, that's one of those where you just kind of put your hands in the air and realize, like, this isn't going to be our day because they just have better players than us. Another angle of that, you can see, like, at this point when this pass gets broken up, Georgia's safeties are good. Don't get me wrong; like, they're going to come down, but there's a lot of room in the middle of the field right there. If Allen's not Johnny on the spot to make that play, like, it's, is it a touchdown? Probably not, but, like, does it have potential to put you into, scoring territory? Yeah, for sure, it does. All right, Georgia gets the ball back after the third down stop, 2nd 11. Carson Beck. This comes back for holding, which is kind of hilarious. This throw is sick. Okay, it's going to go to Dylan Bell. Dylan Bell is going to stop right there and, like, watch the middle linebacker for Tennessee. He's lined up on the bottom as an edge rusher. He's going to drop into coverage, and he sees Carson going to throw this ball, and, like, he thinks, I got a shot at this, and it just zips right past him. Like, that's nasty, man. That is a unbelievable throw. You'll get the wide angle of it right here. Again, Dylan Bell on the bottom in the slot. Look, this is what people mean when they say good offense beats good defense. There's no defense for that. Again, we're going to, right here, same story, 3rd and 12 after that holding penalty. Good offense beats good defense. Great coverage. Just better throw, better catch. Like, nothing you can do about it. Not an insult to the Tennessee defender here, Danico Slaughter. Just a good throw, an incredible throw, and a great catch. Like, sucks to suck, man. Nice play from Milton here. Great vision from him. Gets the ball on the edge. Really good job from everybody on the left side. Delp out there making moves, washing guys out. Ernest Green, Truss downfield, moving people along. Like, that's gap scheme run done very, very well. Van Pran, he's out there. Like, Milton right here, the vision to keep going outside is very well done. And again, Brock Bowers, like, your best receiver, future top 5 to top 10 pick. I mean, he arguably has the most important block here because he starts that seal to create an alley. Oh, and he takes a second guy out with his left hand. That's sick. All right, like, Brock Bowers on a surgically repaired ankle, your leading receiver, he's going to block 2 guys, one with each hand, throw them on the ground. I mean, that's a football player. 2nd and 10, right up the seam, perfect ball from Beck. And look, Beck and Rosemy, they got a thing going. I've noticed this a few times this year, and Rosemy has not played as many snaps in recent weeks. But man, like, he was really good in this game, and be interesting to see how Georgia handles that position, depending on how long Ra Thomas is out. Beck roll out, good play call, good, well executed. Brock Bowers he's just tough to tackle when he's in motion, and good throw by Carson. This is a tough throw. It's an awkward throw. You got to put it on the outside of the receiver, or it can be picked. Like, it's harder than it looks. It's a good job by him. 2nd and 10 right before halftime, and this puts Tennessee into field goal range. This is their last points of the day. Let's look at what happened here. So Everett is kind of going to, at the snap, you're going to see him turn. So he's playing inside technique. Like, he is trying to force that defender outside. And you see he's got a safety. His safety is so deep that he's out of the screen. But, like, Georgia wants that ball to go to the boundary, basically. Like, they want to send this to the outside of the field and make Milton make a tough throw. If you look at the top of the screen, like, he's got a guy up there, but Georgia's also got safety help. So that from Everett, and look, I think Everett's been criticized a little too much at times. Like, he's a really good player, and he stands out sometimes on the Georgia defense because there's literally nowhere else to go and make productive offense. But this is one where, it's your job basically to, like, keep this guy from getting inside of you to the field. And he just sort of loses the angle and his leverage there. So that's one that I'm sure he'd like to have back, and it'll be a teaching moment for him. Like, he's still a redshirt freshman. Start of the half, that, like, this is almost a pick. It's just a little overthrown. We can forgive Beck for missing out on that one. The guy was 17 of 20, I think, to that point. But 3rd and 7, same drive, and this is going to be the drop from Delp. Look, like, Oscar, I thought, had an incredible run block game. He did have an incredible run block game. Like, I don't think anybody would dispute that he was very important in that aspect. But this is a throw, or this is a catch that you need him to make. It's a little awkward play, I mean, the ball is definitely a little low, but, like, it's just something you expect him to catch for sure. All right. Georgia back on defense. And really nice job here by Zion Logue. He gets inside, and he's just going to muddy everything up there. Well done. I think Logue is super underrated. I think he's played really well for Georgia lately. 3rd and 11. And look, like, that's, I would say that of all the shots Tennessee tried to take, like, this was the one that, Georgia really didn't cover well. Let's go to the other angle so you can see it. I mean, Georgia's playing 4 across the back, almost 5, really. This is a defense that's designed to not let anything get behind you, right? Malachi, he just bites a little too hard on the thinking this is a crosser, and it's a good route. It's a really good route from the Tennessee receiver, and it's a good play design. It's not. That's kind of an interesting route that you don't see run a ton because it takes a while to develop. But yeah, sometimes, like, in any given game, you're gonna get shots, and there's just days where they don't hit them, and you just got to say, well, I'm glad that didn't happen. All right. Georgia, second drive of the second half here, and here comes that end around. Remember, showed a fake on it earlier. And I mean, look, it's the same idea, okay? Because Delp, it's a really cool design because, like, in this scenario, they're gonna see that and they're gonna think, oh well, like the tight end is running a wheel route, which is what Bowers ran when the formation was flipped the other way on this play, and Oscar is just he's gonna come around the side here, and I mean Arian does a really good job of getting some yards after the catch, but look at that block by Delp, like that adds another 10, 15 yards to the play, um, and that's why like I talk so much about perimeter blocking. And people when they talk about offensive football and good offense, like, dude, if you give me a team that's gonna block its ass off on the perimeter, like, I can promise you they're gonna find explosive plays all over because there's just not that many teams that do it well. And in reality, like the difference between busting an 8-yard run and a 60-yard touchdown run in certain cases, in a lot of cases, is how'd your receivers block? How'd your tight ends block? The offensive line, like they they start things, but uh, the more explosive the play is, the better the blocking probably was from your skill guys. 1st and 10, run the football, and not a good play here from Georgia. And I'm just kind of trying to give you guys some of the examples of what went wrong in some of these run block situations. So you got Mims at right tackle, and he's going to climb up to the second level. And I mean, Fairchild, he he does enough here. Is he driving the guy into the uh, you know end zone? No, but like he does enough here for Georgia to go have a productive run play. But when Mims climbs up to the second level, he's got to get to that blocker or to that defender, the one that's going to come down and fill the hole and make the play here. Now, it is possible that Mims should have been the guy that blocked the guy that Fairchild blocked, but some of that is kind of out of your control because he's shaded inside, and you got to block the guy that hits you at the snap, right? So, um, Tennessee muddied the waters there. Beautiful in stride throw. And I mean, this, like, when you see some of these throws that Beck made later in the game, even though Georgia was having effective scoring drives when it was happening, like, that's kind of what I meant when I talked about him being a little behind on some of his throws on the first drive, like, because that's what it looks like when he's, like, really in the zone. Just beautiful, balls that are delivered so well that, I mean, Dylan Bell had 9.8 yards after the catch per a catch in this game. Like, that's super productive offense. And then this play, so you get, this is pretty savvy from Bowers. Okay, he's gonna kind of dip, and it's gonna help create a little bit of space for Roseme. You see Brock in the slot, and then you see Lovett. He's going to come across and he's going to act like I'm going to hit you, but he's going to get out of the way because he doesn't want to get an offensive pass interference penalty. You got Edwards heading up towards the end zone, and boom. And like Beck, let's watch. Let's see what Carson did here on this play. Okay, like this is not good pass protection from Xavier Truss at left tackle. Like, this is a sack if Carson doesn't bail. And Carson bails. And instead of panicking, which I mean, like, the dude never, I haven't really seen him panic yet, but like, it doesn't even look flustered here in any way. His eyes are always downfield. And he's just like, oh, that's easy. There's my guy. I'm going to flip it to him. And there's a lot of times where, the thing I like about Carson's game is he tries to complete the ball, and there's times to throw freaking 100-mile-an-hour darts at people, and there's times to just float it out there and let your guy softly catch the ball, and that's what he did there. 1st and 10. Yeah, not great run defense here from Georgia. Marvin Jones is at the top at defensive end, and kind of comparing to this to what we saw from Jalen Walker earlier in our show, like this is very different. I mean, like he's getting washed out of the play here and ends up pursuing from behind. And Georgia's defense, the way it's designed, like you just you can't let that. If you're gonna let yards happen on the edges, then make sure that the guy has to actually come all the way around the edge, because Georgia's got enough speed to go and tackle that. But when you get moved out of the way at the D end or edge position, it's bad news for you. All right, so 2nd and 15 here, and Milton is gonna let another one fly, and Malachi jumps a little too soon. I've seen him do that a couple times this year, honestly. But I will say, A, he's in excellent position here. B, he kind of does that float. Yeah, like he just sort of floated up there the way that like elite athletes do when they jump, the way that I never will and never could. 3rd and 15, you got a cool kind of pressure package in here. I liked this. You got CJ Allen coming from the linebacker spot. You got Mondin on the edge. You've got Michael kind of inside of him. You got Ingram Dawkins looking like pretty much a true nose. And then you get Damon Wilson and Jalen Walker off that outside. And Michael is just going to stunt and plant Joe Milton. That's sick. And I mean, that's just like that's a nasty group of pass rushers to put out there on the field at the same time together. Like those 6 guys saying, all right, boys, it's 3rd and long. Let's go hunt. That is going to almost always, I think, end well for you if you're Georgia's defense. All right, so this is an underrated throw. Okay, and you're probably not going to even think it's as cool as I did, but 2nd and 9 here, and like look at the Muse is not a big target, and that ball, where that ball is delivered to allow him to continue his route, and how it is delivered over the Tennessee defender, like this is a play this is what I talk about when like a throw is so good that it creates extra yardage. This ball is, outside, like Muse is just going to probably get tackled from behind. And this is probably the difference in like a throw that's a 4-yard gain versus a first down for 10. That is a perfect pass. Watch it one more time. Yeah, that's nice. All right, 3rd and 2. This is a beautiful cut by Edwards. And I mean, look, Edwards not his most productive day. Didn't really get great blocking help at times, but like this is why you love him if you're a Georgia fan, is he is a plus value player, especially, when you talk about key situations, and 3rd downs are key situations. Really nice job by Fairchild here, by the way, getting to the 2nd level and sealing this off. But that little cutback is perfect from Dejan. All right, 1st and 10 for Georgia, and this is RPO. This is Beck feeling it and feeling the connection with Dylan Bell. Like you see Carson here, and he's just gonna fake this, and he's gonna watch these linebackers bite down, and Like the Carson Beck Dylan Bell slant connection is a very real thing in my opinion. It is going back to last year, in fact, but um, yeah, it's always good when your quarterback's making good decisions on RPOs. All right, 1st and 10, third quarter. Hand the ball off to Milton and just let him rumble. Again, plus value. Like, this is him creating his own yards. This is not him just like running to clean space right as he breaks through the line of scrimmage. This is excellent vision. I mean, like, really nice job by him taking this diagonal like that, cutting it outside. Good block by Lovett, and finishes it at the goal line. I would say that that Tennessee defender made a business decision. 17. All right, that's it for Georgia's offensive scoring in that game. Credit to Ingram Dawkins again. Another play where we get to see him making a really nice play at the snap, and Jordan Hall as well in at defensive tackle here. Ingram Dawkins kind of just blows this up from the defensive end position, right between the tackle and the guard, and he's there before it can ever even really get going. And then 2nd and 12, Jordan Hall. This is an exciting series, I think, for like some younger players on Georgia's defensive line. Hall here, fighting through, and Jalen Walker, or I'm sorry, CJ Allen in there too. But yeah, it's nice. And then this is the last play I got on here. It's 1st and 10. And this is just Javon Bullard. This is just really good defense, man. Like, I don't think he ever gets his head around. It's a perfect throw from Joe. It's just, Bullard that's insane, like, instincts. Not really teachable. So, great play by him. Yeah, that's what I got for you guys in this one. The rest of this is kind of garbage time, even more so than usual for Georgia. So didn't want to waste our time with that, but we'll be back with some. I don't know if I'll do a full film breakdown of Georgia Tech, but I will probably use some plays from Georgia Tech to do a film style preview for Georgia versus Alabama. So I hope you will join me for that. I would love for you to please subscribe to this channel. And obviously, as always, come check us out on dogcentral.com. All of the deep analytical analysis and intel that you could ever want. Until later, have a good Thanksgiving.